do a Q&A at the very end as well, and I'd like to welcome you to this training and broadcast inside here, and it's only broadcast inside Zoom today as well. So sustaining a long-term healthy lifestyle is the key to losing weight, and it's only attainable through the MNRG 5-point nutrition method, and we're going to be talking quite a lot about that today. So we coach busy people to reboot their metabolisms, balance their hormones, to burn fat to lose the weight. And I'm going to be covering some of the science behind this in this presentation today. So how are we different? Well, our area of expertise is helping people who've got a slow aging metabolism lose up to 50 pounds in 12 weeks, increase their drive, their focus, their confidence, their energy, their productivity without having to eat boring rabbit food, more by educating them to empower them to make their own choices, therefore improving their adherence. I'm going to be covering the exact methods that we use to do that with our clients. So this is a little picture of some of our clients that worked with us in 2020. You've got Donna here, who's dropped around about 25 pounds. Debbie's 55, you're going to hear about her as well. Lucy's now almost at 8 stone actually, off Norma. She was a skinny fat one, we'll talk about that as well. And Gainer's done really well as well. So why should you hang around? I hear you say, so one, I want to lose weight, I want to be healthy. That's why probably most of you are inside my Weight Management Transformation Academy. Our clients lose an average of 7 to 10 pounds per month. And in this free training, you're going to discover how to do the same. You also might want to get that free 5-point recipe ebook at the end of this training. So you're here today. I've asked you to come in and I'll give you that ebook at the end of the session today. You also want to find out about the extra bonus at the end of this training as well. I've got a little added bonus that I want to share with you as well. So how do you know it's real? Well, meet our client Debbie Blackwood. She was on a webinar like this a few years back. Before she enrolled in our program, she was stuck in a rut for 5 years, trying every single diet that she could think of. She finally ditched the yo-yo dieting and lost 55 pounds. And she's now maintained that for the last 24 months. So hang around and you'll learn more. This could be you next. So who's this for? It's if you've tried like every other diet going, you've failed multiple times and you feel like giving up. You might feel awful, like, not happy with yourself just now. You don't like looking in the mirror. You might feel unattractive to a partner or a spouse, or you just feel uncomfortable going out socially. You're turning down events. Your clothes aren't fitting you anymore. You've got low self-esteem. You've got zero body confidence. I was on the phone with a client, probably fits most of these things this morning, a potential client, and she was talking about how all her clothes doesn't fit her anymore in her wardrobe, and it's pretty frustrating her, and she's trying all these crazy extreme exercise programs and diet plans, and she loses a little bit of weight, then she regains it again. So who this is not for is if you're not coachable, you hate doing things differently, you think you know better, and you aren't ready to fix things, and you want another quick fix, and you don't want to put the work in. Or if you need your partner's permission to change, always going to, people come across barriers to stopping them from move forward, like getting their partner's permission, or, I work with clients kind of 40, 50, 60, and even 70 plus. And one of my clients who's 65, I was chatting to her the other day, and she was telling her husband that she's coming on board their plan. And she pretty much said, look, Ian, here's how it's going to go. I'm doing the program. You go and spend your golf all day. I'm going to focus on my health. So it's quite empowering, to make that change and not be afraid to have to ask somebody's permission. If you need to ask somebody's permission, then there's problems, this has got to be something that you've got to want to change, that you've got to want to do. So what is the MNRG 5-point nutrition method? It's a proven method for weight loss. And I can hear you shout, help, support, advice, guidance. That's what this method is all about. And my goal for this web class is to show you the only way to drop 10 to 50 pounds sustainably is through the Momentum NRG 5-point nutrition method. Okay, and why we're qualified, you just have to check out some of our training successes in our program. So we've got, like I say, Debbie here, who's lost 55, Cyan, 42 pounds, Donna, 25, Billy, 55, Liz, the amazing Liz, 70 pounds, Eddie, 28 pounds. Norma was about the body fat percentage, so she dropped something like, you can see her hips have changed in this one as well, and Norma dropped around about maybe 7 or 8 pounds, but it was all about toning the muscle up and sculpting the muscle. Most recently, Kate here on the right here, Kate here, should be pointing it out. So Cyan, Donna, Billy, Liz, you've got Eddie Clark, £28. Oceans Under 12, I remember that live interview. And you can see all these live interviews inside our Transformation Academy. We do like live interviews with these people. So all these people have done live interviews inside the group. Kate, most recently, 60 plus, dropped she dropped £28 in 12 weeks. In fact, one of her friends has recently come on board the plan. Joanne, £42, busy director. I think it was from, if you check out her success story, it was granny pants to hot pants. So she's done absolutely fantastic there. So background story, a bit about the Momentum NRG. So this was in the year 2000, 22 years ago was the birth of the Momentum NRG. So we're a family-run business. My wife Jennifer's a director in the business, and our son Lewis obviously is quite small in this. I think I've got other pictures of Lewis on the page. He's now 22, and he's a director in the business. So he works in our marketing side of stuff, and he helps to promote our business around the UK and in North America there as well. So I've been in the industry for over 20 years. As I started working in this health club in 1998, and I've been helping people with weight management problems for that period of time. So I've got a wealth of experience. And after 21 years, I suppose I discovered the hard way. And, damn, I skipped that last slide there. So I discovered the hard way, and I've invested lots and lots over those 2 decades, in myself and developing my training and going around the world and to become the best family transformation company in the UK. So I have a laugh about this all the time. Like, I say that they were the best family-run transformation company, weight management transformation company in the UK. I think it's maybe because we're the only ones. I don't think anybody's doing son and mum, and all and wife in the same business. So yeah, I think we're number one in the UK. And we're hitting North America as well now. So we've got clients in North America. Tony was in last week, £80. Elizabeth, a couple of weeks before that as well. And we've got a lady out there in Nashama that's working with us at the moment. And we've got Anne up in Quebec in Canada. She's £30 down so far, and she's looking to drop another £30. So, if you've been struggling, I'm going to jump on. If you've been struggling, this is probably why. You've maybe been doing another crappy diet book, and a lot of people get stuck because they keep doing the same stuff, and well, you're going to get probably the same results. You keep doing things the hard way, and you keep doing the shitty diets, the baby food diet, the apple vinegar diet. And I'm going to be harsh, you keep going back and doing the same things that's failed you 10, 20, 30 years, and that's insanity. And if you keep doing them and expecting to get different results, then I think you're mad. It's not your fault though, because the diet industry's kind of geared towards you failing. It's got a failure rate of like 95%. You lose the weight, you regain the weight, you lose the weight. I'm going to explain a little bit how that works later on. So if you've done what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. It's one of my favourite kind of sayings. So for sure, you can keep doing the crazy yo-yo diets that, where they push as many units as possible with minimal effort, but you're not going to get a personalised approach, in my opinion. And there's no way that I could offer the same kind of service at Momentum NRG to thousands of people. That's why I only want to really work very closely with a high level, with a smaller amount of clients. So right now, I still work with some in-person clients because I quite like the personal touch, and I'm a people person. So I still do private sessions in the gym, but I'm doing up to like 15 a week. And my online business, I've got around about maybe 20 personal clients. In fact, we're doing a promotion just now whereby you reset in September, come on board 90 days, drop 20 to £40. And we've already got 2 people on it so far this month, and we're looking for another 3 people. So our calls have been inundated with requests recently because we're doing so well and getting such amazing results for our clients. So it's very bespoke. We're not looking after hundreds of people. That's what I'm trying to say here today in this call as well. It's individual and personally tailored to you. So I'm going to show you the science of how the 5-point method works in just a few minutes. And this is more than just a run-of-the-mill method. And I used to be the guy who gave those crappy, boring, bland diet plans that nobody could stick to. And that was like me 20 years ago. It's like, here, eat this. And I've even done them myself, but I realized that not everybody could stick to the hardcore methods of like chicken, rice, and broccoli. And over the past 20 years, I've spent, like I say, thousands of pounds on coaching courses, development, to cut through all the BS for you and to show you the key steps that you need to implement to lose the weight and keep it off forever. So stop going round in circles. If you're stuck in a position, then, you know, I spent 20 years figuring it out for you, you know, and you spent 20 years trying to figure it out and probably still stuck in the same position. So there's a new way, a better way of doing it, and it's called the 5-point nutrition method. So when you get clarity on how to track your eating using the 5-point nutrition method, you can expect to lose 7 to 10 pounds per month. Now, most programs out there are probably pretty effective. And the problem is that most people recommend these days things like counting calories, macros, points, SINs, keto, fasting. Now, the problem with that approach is it's tedious, it's complicated. People stick with the plan, they lose a little bit of weight, you know, and then they just can't seem to sustain it for the long term. Whereas what we do over here is take more of a simple back to basics approach. And it's just what I found work best for our clients and my 20 years plus experience. Some of the simple things work the best. So our goal is not to count calories, macros, points, starve our clients, tell them they're not allowed to eat this and they're not allowed to eat that. It's mostly to keep track of what and when they eat. And we have nutrition analysis. It's day by day truth diary. We do it using a good old fashioned notepad and pen. So you have to submit your food to me every day for inspection. So that's why, like I say, I'm not working with hundreds of people because I would be there all day. And what I would say is, as a personal touch, you get me as a coach. It's like, I'm not going to fob you off into a group where you're with another 150 people and you try and get a question answered, and the coach gives you a generic answer. You know, it's a bespoke, tailored plan to you. Then I inspect our food every day. Then we've got responsive dieting. I'm going to ask, have you heard of that? I respond daily to your nutrition to ensure you're on track, highlight your mistake, make adjustments, and I point you in the right direction, meaning that you get day in, day out access and accountability lately that you never had before. So I hope that makes sense. And the great thing is it only takes a few minutes per day. So like every morning, my clients send me their food diary for the day before. I look at what and when they eat and making sure that they're making the right choices and they're eating more high quality foods and less low quality foods. And the reason I call it the 5-point nutrition method is it allows you to eat little and often so that it balances your body's biochemistry, the hormones, so that you release the fat and speed up your metabolism. I'm hoping this makes sense to you guys. I'm going to open up to Q&A at the end. And we do it using the 5-point method. And the great thing about the 5-point method is that our clients get to eat little and often. I think I drew a wee kind of picture here, actually. So you've got this little graph on the screen here, but I like to do it the kind of good old-fashioned way here. I'm going to quickly grab my pen here. I like to do it. So this is homeostasis. This is where your blood sugar wants to be. This is where your body wants to be. So this is the problem, is that people are eating the wrong foods. So, for example, a new client just onboarded yesterday. She submitted her first food diary, which was, in fact, she actually sent me a picture of I asked her for pictures of what she's actually eating. So she sent me a picture of a yogurt and some strawberries. Now, it was a fat-free yogurt. So you're thinking straight away, it's healthy, right? Well, anyway, I get to the label of ingredients and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, it's got pork glutamine in it. It's got all sorts of additives and preservatives. It's got aspartame, which is fake sugar. So you're just pretending to be healthy. You're still going to get a spike in your blood sugar levels. And I just couldn't believe the pork gelatin. I've never seen that before in yogurt before. I just thought, wow, she's thinking it's okay. It's only 67 calories, but it had about maybe 10 ingredients, whereas like I would just get like real milk from the cow kind of stuff, like, you know, with no added additives or preservatives or any crap in it. So when she eats that, what happens is she gets a rapid rise in her blood. It's called designer processing. She gets a rapid rise in her blood sugar level. So her levels go up, similar to you see here in this chart here as well. So you've now got blood glucose. She's had that yesterday morning. She's now got blood glucose in the bloodstream. That gets sent to the muscle cells for future storage, okay? Then what happens is if you've got quite a sedentary lifestyle, we're not as active as our parents. In fact, we're half as active as our grandparents as well. So we're not burning up a lot of energy. So that blood glucose gets sent to the muscle cells for future storage as muscle glycogen. If you're not then using up that muscle glycogen and the blood sugar, and the stores are already full, then there's nowhere for the blood sugar to go, so it'll get immediately stored as fat. This is where the hormones kick in, because your body then produces insulin, which is to bring it back down again. So Your body it doesn't want to be in high blood sugar. It wants to be in homeostasis. So the body produces insulin, which is a fat storing hormone. So now you're storing fat twice. So you're storing fat once here and twice because you're introducing the insulin into the bloodstream there as well. So now you've got insulin in the bloodstream, then you get a rapid fall in your blood sugar. But you're thinking, okay, because you've done calorie counting diets or whatever before, you can have another one of these yogurts because they're only 67 calories. And then what you'll find is you'll be craving the sugar here as well. And when you're in here, the blood sugar levels are low, so your body's then producing insulin and adrenaline. Insulin, cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol is another fat storing hormone. So number 3, you're now storing fat for the 3rd time today. So that's where people are going wrong when it comes to the nutrition. They're making the wrong choices of food, as opposed to, like, none of my clients count calories, none of them count points. What they do is they get to eat little and often. So they've got one good energy level. So if you're down here, you're now craving, you're feeling grumpy, you've got low mood, and then you're in a cycle, probably the insulin sugar surge of high and low blood sugar levels. And, you know, the great thing about this, if you can control it and slow it down and have more kind of this effect on the blood sugar level, that's why you're eating little and often. You can control your hormones, the ones that you can control, and that's your blood sugar. And that'll obviously, if you're going up and down all day and you're maybe, say, you know, got some other hormonal pressures going on in your body, then, well, you're not doing yourself any favors. In fact, probably you're making them worse by having a poor lifestyle at the end of the day. So you'll also reduce the food cravings as well. So I never crave food. None of my clients ever say that they're hungry because they're eating little and often. They're making better choices. And again, number 4 is kind of like you reduce the portion sizes. So therefore the overall, so if the food quality is good that you're eating and you're not losing weight, then clearly you're eating too much. So we also identify portions. And this is the thing, when it comes to portion control, really it's individually tailored depending on how hungry you are, what activity you're doing. So it really isn't like we individually tailor. So I look at people's portion control and I can give them feedback by talking to them and asking them how they were feeling, were they hungry, that kind of stuff. And number 5 is that when you eat smaller and often, your body has to digest the food, so it has to break it down. So your digestive system fires up, so therefore you're actually burning energy by eating little and often. So you've got more energy, you're burning fat at the same time. It's a brilliant method, and it just gets fantastic results. And none of my clients have to do maths, they don't have to do calculations, they don't have to beat themselves up if they have a low quality, like you can still have some low quality food. You can see the Eat Well plate behind me, 8% junk food. You can still have a little bit of what you like in moderation, and as long as you're healthy most of the time, but without having to do points or sins or eat fancy food that says it's healthy. If it says it's healthy, don't read the label, send it to me. Some of them are just absolutely shocking. So free 5-point recipe ebook. We're giving our most recent 5-point recipe ebook. I'm going to give you a quick picture of it in a second. Free inside our Transformation Academy. So simply drop me a message inside Facebook Messenger with the message or on text recipe, and I'll get that document to you. Okay, you'll get that to you. And my goal for today is really to give you an insight to the 5-point nutrition method, and if you implement it, you will see the results within 7 days. So I write them a truth diary. I write it down every day, and I maintain a healthy weight. And that's really, but I'm going to say as well, most people never act on good information. Is this for you? You know, and if you just like to watch this and never act upon it, then you'll probably never be successful. And even worse, you might end up living a life of regret. Like I said, I had a call with that lady this morning, and you know what? She needed my help. She really needed my help, but she's got to want to make that change. And she was ready, she wanted to do it, but she was just a bit afraid. There was a bit of fear there, and maybe that, you know, she needs to spend on the kids or whatever. But what about her? Like, why is she ignoring herself? Like, and I think that working with a lot of women over the years is that they tend not want to invest in your health, invest in yourself. You only get one life, and if you're not able to be present because you've got no energy and not feeling great, then it's going to have an impact on everybody else's life round about you. So you can either stay as you are, keep doing the yo-yo diets, blaming your age, hormones, menopause, but I guarantee you'll remain unhappy. Or you could do it yourself for a few days and like the rest of the yo-yo diets and have no clarity that you're making the right nutrition choices and portion control. This is the key: nutrition choices and portion control. You can make a decision to connect with myself, and we can provide you with a personal roadmap to success, like all those ladies that are transforming their lives, and how to reach out to us. And I always say, like, I'd love to say that it's a quick fix, but from experience, that wouldn't be the truth. And I want to be pretty transparent and say, let's set up a complimentary weight loss audit call first. We do this audit over the phone to see if there's any gaps in your nutrition, your training and mindset. I promise, should have said mindset first. That's the biggest shift that you probably need to make, because if you keep thinking how you've always been thinking, then you'll probably get what you've always got, then you won't change. And like the great thing about that call is that we can actually make a couple of quick changes straight away and get you a couple of quick wins and get you right on track without overwhelming you. And today's bonus, if you book a free clarity call with me, I'm going to make sure you leave with our most recent either Sugar Detox Challenge book or our Energy Challenge ebooks, and you can just direct message. I'm going to share these other things with you as well. So just let me end this show here.